Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce GTX 1066GB model in Call of Duty Warzone 2.0 using FSR 2.1 and at native resolution as well. This one is the MSI Gaming X version of the card. It comes already overclocked out of the box and I'm not pushing it further. I'm using the latest Nvidia drivers as well as usual, and you can see over in Tech Power-Ups GPU Z all of the GPU specs. It has 6 gigs of GDDR5 memory, 1280 CUDA cores, and it released back in 2016. Over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 7 5700G and 16GB of RAM to avoid CPU bottlenecks. And let's get right into it, shall we? Let's go over the settings first. I'm playing at 1080p resolution at the moment, and we're using the minimum settings preset with 100% resolution scale, no FSR at the moment, and the low texture quality because, well, 6GB of VRAM. Let's go. All right, here we are now. Let's start counting the FPS. Why are they going to the middle of it? Why? Dudes, you're not supposed to go there. That's exactly where I'm going. Oh, come on, dude. Okay, I think we're gonna die really fast unless I find a weapon. Also, we're getting about like 10 less FPS than the RX 580. Even lower on the 1% low, so... wow, that is a crazy difference for two GPUs that were competitors back in the day, you know? Like, the 580 came out a little bit later than the GTX 1060, yes, but still, they were competitors. They were similarly priced. And the 580 was getting 60 plus all of the time, aside from in water scenarios. This one... yeah, it just isn't. It is dropping into the 50s, even inside of here. Look at this. That is actually pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting it to be so different from the RX 580 in terms of performance here in this one. Seems like the AMD GPUs are definitely faring a little bit better here in Warzone 2. We're doing fine. We're not dead yet, so that's amazing. But I would definitely not utilize the native resolution with a GTX 1066GB. It's just... even on the minimum settings preset with low textures, it's too much for this little card these days. Holy crap. Oh, there's a guy right there. What? That was a massive, beautiful dive, my friend. Where did he go? I don't know where he went, but I want to go this way because we need to check the FPS in a little bit of a forest area with a lot of vegetation right there, basically. I really hope this is like a console player who isn't utilizing any headphones and it can't hear my footsteps. Yeah, that would be great. Anyways, around... oh my god, it still drops here, dude. Look at that, into the higher 50s. That is a massive difference. I think the 580 got around like 80-something FPS on average. Clearly, the 580 is way better in this game. Alright, it's time for us to utilize some FSR 2.1 on quality, and this should make a big difference. At least I hope it does. Still... okay, still not 80 frames per second, but it's fine. So here in forest areas, I can tell that it looks a bit worse using FSR 2.1, but pretty much everywhere else, it kind of looks the same as DLSS on quality, which isn't really a very good implementation in this game, honestly. But it looks good, it looks decent enough, and especially on smaller 1080p monitors, it will look really close to native resolution, as a lot of you told me in the comments. I'm using a 4K panel for this, so of course it's not native. It already doesn't look good on native res. But anyways, in terms of FPS, it is much better. This is what I like to see, of course. Close to 80 frames per second on average, 40-something in the 1% lows. That doesn't mean that it dropped that far, by the way. It just means that the game has some micro stuttering issues. You can see those little spikes in the frame time graph, and those are not really noticeable whatsoever, so it's okay, you know. It feels smooth anyways, even with those. This is where things become pretty bad for the GTX 1060 in water areas. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Wait. It's not only one shooting at me. I think there was another one maybe shooting at him. So we might have a chance. Oh, yes, we can also re-shield here. I'm lost. I'm lost. Oh, boy. Come on, don't you die on me, buddy. Don't you die. Okay, thank you. Oh, we're back here. Good stuff, good stuff. This is exactly where I wanted to go. Let's open the door, not make any noise, you know? And let's check it out over here in this water. Because this is where it drops the most, basically. 60s. I mean, it did drop already. I'm gonna jump from the bridge so we can see a big splash. It's already dropping though, 58 right there. Yeah, the 580 did get 60 plus all of the time, 100%. It was buttery smooth, but with the 1066 gigabyte, you will need to overclock it a little bit. Good thing is these Pascal cards overclock very, very well, so it should be able to achieve 60 plus with no problems, you know. It's already like the minimum is 58, 57 or so. The loot looks terrible, so you gotta get used to that or wait for them to fix it. They will probably fix it because DLSS, the first implementations of it in Warzone 1.0 or 1 or just Warzone, was also looking like that in the loot, you know, so it looked pretty terrible, but they ended up fixing that. It looks normal now whenever you enable DLSS. I'm not sure if the developers are playing with FSR or not, but, you know, it's really noticeable, and I think a lot of people will complain about that, as I've seen in my comments in the previous video as well. I'm super impressed. We managed to stay alive the entire time. This is awesome. In the RX 580 video that I made yesterday, it took me like 1 hour to make a single setting because I was always dying. So this is awesome. We can actually play right now without an issue. What the hell? Loadout drops. Okay. Anyway, 79 FPS average, 43% lows. Again, 1% lows aren't really accurate. I would say like 58 would be the actual 1% lows with a flat frame time graph. So this is the way to play this game, I think. Remember to OC the card. But let's check it out with some FSR1 next on ultra quality. This actually used to look pretty good, but now it's just a shimmery mess. Look at this. It should be slightly less intensive as well than the FSR 2.1. So I'm curious to see if near water, and especially splashing from the bridge, it will drop into the 50s. But yeah, with the option of... But oh my god, no, 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 don't do that to me, buddy, please. I wouldn't do this, guys. Previously, without any other option, I would utilize FSR1 on ultra quality to achieve 60 plus FPS all of the time, but now you got FSR2, which looks infinitely better than 1.0. 1.0 is just really weird. Okay. Alright, there we go. We got a kill. An actual kill. That's not a bot. What? Yeah, that wasn't a bot. What the heck? Okay, well, this is going very well. Way better than I expected. 15 minutes and we already tested a couple of settings. Crazy stuff. All right. Anyways, let's jump off the bridge. It's not here. It's actually right here. And, okay, 61. So see, a couple of higher FP. No, it's still dropping 58. Well, if it still drops to the same values, just stick to FSR 2.1. There is no way I would use 1.0 here. It's terrible. Now, I'm really curious to see XeSS because somebody told me that on ultra quality, it looks better than FSR 2.1 in this game. And I never really try XeSS because it works better on Intel GPUs. Oh, that's super soft, actually. I mean, it looks good. It looks like Filmic SMA82X is enabled, but it performs really poorly. It got rid of all of the jaggies, though, not gonna lie. I cannot see, maybe there, a little bit of jaggies, but this is, it's some bad TAA, basically. At least at 1080p on this huge monitor that I'm using. Maybe on a native 1080p monitor, it would look way, way better. It's something that I need to do, you know, a comparison, playing in various monitors, seeing how things look and stuff. But yeah, this is not a viable option, once again, dropping into the 40s, you know, it's basically the same as native resolution, and it looks softer than native resolution, so yeah. I'm gonna go back to FSR2, which is, again, the better way to play this game, and I'm gonna play at 1440p for a little bit. Alright, 2560 by 1440 is now the res, and we're doing it with FSR on quality, because without FSR it will be completely unplayable. And even with FSR, it is not that great. As you can see, it drops into the 40s. That is crazy. Like the 580 8GB model was getting near 60 frames per second here. With drops, it did drop from 60, of course, because it even dropped from 60 at 1080p native. But yeah, this is constantly below 60 FPS. It's not even hitting 60, even here where we don't see any water in front of us. So yeah, guys, 1440p is kind of rough to run on the GTX 1060 in this game. To be expected, this was a decent card at 1440p gaming back when it released, but now, all these years later, it's more of a 1080p GPU, and even then, in some games, you need upscaling to achieve 60 plus, but a lot of games are playable even with like 30 or 40 or 50 frames per second, so it's fine. Let's stop it there, though. I do not really like this experience too much. I'm gonna try it with balanced FSR 2.1, which still looks really impressive at 1440p. I can tell a bit of a difference. There is a little bit more shimmering around things, as you can see right there, for example. But it is putting us above 60 FPS, at least over here. I want to see it in the forest area now. And all right, here we go. Oh, it's already dropping even here. Also, the vegetation is looking a little bit better than 1080p with quality FSR, but definitely worse than if you would play this game at native 1440p. Of course, it's unbalanced FSR, so it's to be expected. Not a problem, though. It still looks decent enough, I would say. And this game on low settings looks really close to this game on medium or high settings anyway, so I would just utilize the lowest settings here, like we are using, because they work better. Anyways, yeah, near the water, once again, dropping into the 40s. Damn, I was expecting a little bit better here, honestly, but even the 580 dropped from 60 using these settings, so nothing surprising, I guess. Let's do performance right now. Okay, a little bit better, still dropping from 60. Way softer looking now, actually, but it is impressive because, like, performance FSR 1, for example, is completely awful in terms of looks, and FSR 2 on performance is actually usable. Super usable, I would say. Of course, like, vegetation and stuff like that will look pretty terrible, but still a little bit better, I would say, than XeSS was on ultra quality and 1080p in terms of looks, just because that was ultra soft, you know. Maybe it's just my monitor, once again, being big and so on, but yeah. In terms of comparing things in my monitor, it looks better right now, honestly. And it is performing better as well, which is kind of crazy, you know. I'm curious, though. Let's check it out using ultra performance. In some games, you don't even have this option because it supposedly looks really terrible. Yeah, that water just has no ripples whatsoever anymore, and it's super pixelated. Like, you can see that, right? I can see the pixels here. Obviously, now it's running at an ultra low resolution. It doesn't say here, but I'll tell you on screen. And whenever you're moving, for example, or there are moving things like water in the screen, it's just terrible. You can see a lot of, like, pixelation around my weapon, halo effects, ghosting, whatever you want to call it. Like, it looks really bad. You know, this is kind of like playing the game at 720p, I would say. No, it's better. It's actually better in 720p. Because, again, static things, static objects look really good still, which is very impressive. But everything else looks terrible. Anyways, it's getting good FPS now. I would be able to play like this. Oh, yeah. Still shot him. I still got him, you know. He's camping bastard. Camping bastard. I hate people like you, buddy. But yeah, with the option to play at low resolution with way higher FPS, I would actually take it, you know. So that's been it for this video, I guess. 580 was way better than 1060, which was surprising. And since I finished this video so soon, so early into the day, I will actually make another one for today. So stay tuned in for that. And as always, love you all. Bye-bye.